In the Gambia, rising temperatures and unpredictable weather patterns are not just fueling environmental issues, but are fanning growing tensions over land. The two are also transforming fertile grazing lands into dust bowls, forcing pastoralists and farmers into increasing competition over limited resources. In response, the International Organization for Migration is bringing stakeholders together for a consultative forum under a project seeking to empower rural communities with a view to addressing the impact of climate-related conflicts by identifying and validating transhuman corridors across the country.
The Gambia is facing significant impacts of climate change as of now. Climate change and environmental degradation that have not only worsened living standards in the Gambia, but also are emerging as a key driver of migration, often irregular migration, where our young people, they're putting their lives at risk. The total annual rainfall has declined by 30% since the 1970s, which all of you would be well aware. It has really impacted the arable lands, making territories and communities vulnerable to wind erosion, bushfires, as well as other disasters. The changes in temperatures, annual precipitation patterns, social and economic vulnerabilities, all of these factors, they're really undermining the country's food, water, and economic security.
Scarce grazing areas and striking water resources are driving dispute between farmers and herders, especially in rural communities. These land-related conflicts are now becoming more frequent and intense, threatening livelihood, food insecurity, and peaceful coexistence.
The impact of climate change on transhumance patterns has been significant. Transhumance has been it has been used as a coping mechanism by herder communities to mitigate the impact of climate change and the growing impact or the growing competition over natural resources. However, this increased vulnerability and increased impact on the transhumance patterns is also resulting in conflicts amongst communities. With the lack of evidence and data generation mechanisms on the impact of climate change as well as transhuman patterns, we are also seeing that there is the climate-induced shocks. They're further enhancing economic vulnerability in the Gambia.
The forum, part of a wider project to empower rural communities and prevent climate-related migration, brings together key stakeholders to validate routes used by herders across the country, known as transhuman corridors.
When we talk about mapping of transhuman corridor, it's something that is very important because transhuman is something that is practiced in West Africa, especially in the Sahelian countries of West Africa. And again, in part of Central Africa, Madam Kia Person. But how is this transhuman now? In most of the countries where it is practiced, the farmers who are involved are really involved in a lot of fighting, conflict, and other areas that is not helping the production of livestock, it's not helping the development even of that nation.
We realize that there are a lot of issues within the transhumans dating back to access route, grazing areas, and conflict between crop farmers and livestock farmers. So this convergence will actually address those challenges, and we hope and believe that we will be able to come up with a very good product, a tool that we will be able to use to address all these issues.
With initiatives like this consultative forum, the Gambia is taking a significant step towards preventing climate-driven tensions by clearly mapping out cattle tracks. But experts agreed lasting peace will require unrelenting dialogue, data and genuine cooperation on the part of all stakeholders. Omar Faye, GRTS.